Hi, good evening. Just wait for 2 minutes. Let people join so that everybody can benefit from this webinar. Right, let others join and then we will start the webinar today. Uh, right. Good evening, everyone. Those who are watching the stream live on YouTube and LinkedIn. Uh, Over a period of last almost 2 years from the time we have started our information security training journey, I have seen that a lot of budding professionals, mid-career professionals have a lot of concerns and doubts about what to do, how to skill up. Right? There's always this doubt about whether I should do this certification or that certification. Professionals reach a particular time and space in their careers when they start feeling stuck. They start thinking that they have been doing the same thing again and again for the last few years, and they would like to understand as to how and which certifications will help in skilling up. Right. Over a period of last, I will say, 6 to 7 years, there has been a particular increase, I will say a boom or increase towards information and cybersecurity roles from the time ransomware has come into existence, from the time governance has come into existence, from the time compliance has come into existence. Uh, Organizations are repeatedly facing a lot of challenges and difficulties into how to protect their assets. Now, if you look on the Indian compliance side, slowly and steadily, the compliance strictness is building up. Let me give you a very small figure of 11th June. One of the cyber fraud group were able to, steal about 26 crore worth of rupees from, multiple individuals, from high net worth individuals, which led to a loss of roughly 26 crores. And that's very small. And the overall cybersecurity, incidents over a period of year almost up to the tune of 2 to 3,000 crores. Now that is the kind of loss that organizations cannot take. So with that as a prelude, we see that there's been an uptick in information and cybersecurity roles, and my endeavor is to make you understand which are the certifications today which are in demand and which have a meat to actually lead your career in a different direction on an upward trajectory. Right. So once we look at the information security career roles, you start with an analyst role. Now, your analyst role can be in many domains. It could be in a penetration testing domain. It could be in a, you know, GRC domain. It could be in a network security domain. There are multiple domains in which you can. But if you divide your career journey into in this particular space, you will see you will start with an analyst role, then you will get into a team lead role, managerial positions, senior manager, associate director, senior VP level roles, and then into subsequently into senior roles where you become a CISO or a CIO or a CTO who's directly responsible for managing the information and cybersecurity aspects of your organization. Right. If you look at the roles specific to these career positions, you could be in GRC, you could be in network security, you could be in penetration testing, identity and access management, security operations center, privacy, architecture, audit, compliance management. There are many fields in which you will probably have your opening or your career building up. But at some point in time, these roles start converging. Once you are through the middle manager or senior manager roles, you start going into more concentrated roles where you have to take decisions, right? So I'm trying to see the complete certification journey from beginning to the end, depending upon which part of your career space you are in, right? Now if you look at this, the construction work has started right now. uh, Now if you look at GRC roles, right? Just a second, guys, I'll have to get this noise. I am so sorry for this interruption. There was some construction work going on. I had to go and get it stopped. Yes, the video will be available, Tarang. Right. So let's start with the GRC roles first. So if you look at GRC roles, what does it involve, right? So you could be analyst, you could be a a mid level or even a senior level role, right? So if you start with the GRC as your main career focus, it will involve policy formulation, carrying out risk assessments, maintenance of the risk register, vulnerability analysis. What are the key risks which are there in the organization? Who is going to manage those risks? What is the ownership of those risks? uh, how long are you going to accept that risk? Okay, what are the controls which have been implemented? So the complete management of all your governance issues, starting from policies, roles and responsibilities, ownership of assets, ownership of risks, ownership of you know uh, patching the vulnerabilities, task scheduling, and finally the compliance is what GRC roles will be looking at, and what are the key skills you will be requiring. Now, even if a lot of people think that GRC is a very non-tech role, let's go into GRC, right? It's not like that. You need to have basic understanding of the entire cybersecurity process. Okay, what is vulnerability management? What is patch management? What are the risks? How to evaluate a risk? Okay, whether that risk can realize into your organization. Okay, can you do that? Can you Do you have the adequate technical capacity to understand whether that risk actually is going to realize into your organization? So it's easy to say that GRC is a non-technical easy role. I will say that GRC is one of the most difficult tasks if done with 100% dedication and devotion, because it requires a lot of work. Okay? Somebody who's there in network security, managing firewalls, he's the happiest guy because he's got just one network to monitor, right? But a person serving or working in the GRC vertical is looking at a complete enterprise risk, and enterprise risks are large. Enterprise risks are huge. Now, when you look at enterprise risk, it can start from an antivirus to an anti-malware to phishing. There are so many risks today. If you look at one risk register, there could be 200 open risks, right? Now you have to manage those risks, and you have to see that the controls have been implemented and those controls are actually effective, and who is owner of those controls, has he taken action or not, right? So it's a very, very tedious task. It's not an easy task. Okay, you have to also evaluate product ownership. Who is the responsibility for a particular product? What are the risks to a product, right? uh, if you are in a services company, that task becomes much bigger. If you're in a product company, maybe less. But if you're in a services company, that task becomes much difficult because now you are exposed to multiple clients, right? So what I'm trying to say is GRC definitely is a wonderful role, but what you require are your key skills and the certifications which can help you towards those. Having a good GRC profile is, you should start with basics. You can have a CompTIA Security Plus. Uh, you should have completed your graduate studies. You can also go in for our Cyber 101 course. We have made that as a basic course for anyone and everyone who's trying to enter into cyber. Then once you have secured a job and you are into GRC, you understand the process of GRC, somewhere down the line, around 4 to 5 years of experience, we recommend you to do a certified information security auditor. So if you're already 4 to 5 years experience, we do recommend, and you are in GRC roles, we do recommend getting certified information security auditor, because somewhere down the line the syllabus of CISA is aligned to GRC roles. We also do recommend getting CISM, certified information security manager, because somewhere down the line CISM, CISA, they both complement each other. Now if you already have CISA or CISM, the next level would always be to go for CISSP, and CISSP is considered the as of now the master certification in information security. And similarly, if you are into the cloud domain, your enterprise is into cloud, understanding cloud security aspects also is very important, and that's where CCSP comes in, right? Somewhere down the line, also, one good certification is CRISC, which helps you in becoming a effective risk manager, right? Other than the certifications, you would like to have understanding of frameworks and process definitions, up your sleeve. And the best, standards to go through today are ISO 27001, NIST 853, NIST 837, PCI DSS, GDPR. Okay, then country-specific laws. If you are in India in the banking sector, good to understand RBI cybersecurity framework, SEBI Common Securities Framework, which has just come out for regulated entities. So other than certifications, you have to skill up with a lot of standards and their requirements, right? Next role we see is network security. Now, network security is also one of the core domains of cybersecurity, because all organizations, all enterprises will depend on networks, and the point of intrusion from where you can actually observe some anomaly is on the network, right? Now, today, the network security, professionals, network security professionals are something which has always been in demand. So if you look at network security professionals, one of the starting certifications is, CCNA. Now, generally, what network professionals, security professionals do are they maintain the firewalls, the intrusion detection systems, the intrusion prevention systems, network data leakage prevention systems. Okay, they are also involved in maintenance of the switches and routers and other network devices which are there in the network. Now, also comes with that is the SD-WAN, the storage area networks, and other network components which come with that. And they have to manage complete network security aspects. That means you have to have observability into the network and also capability respond into the network. Now, observability can be created by, can be you can have SIEM systems, you can have network monitoring systems. There are different tools available for network monitoring. One of the basic tools is Wireshark, right? And there are many more advanced tools from Qualys and Tenable, where you can monitor your network more effectively. So network security is more tool oriented. You'll have to have hands-on experience on devices. Okay, so if you are a professional who is aiming to get into network security, get your hands dirty with firewalls, IDS, IPS, all network security devices. Now, key certifications which can help you is CCNA is one of the base forming certifications in this particular field. And then you can scale up with further with CCNA security, CCIE, and vendor specific certifications on equipments like firewalls, IDS, IPS, and maybe Zscaler, DLP solutions, and other vendor specific solutions which you can get yourself certified on. Right. Next role, we're looking at penetration testing. Now, penetration testing is one of the most in demand, and both sides, the demand and supply. People are demanding penetration testers. You need to have good penetration testing skills. At the same time, it is very, very interesting for the young, aspiring cybersecurity professionals to get into penetration testing. Now, still, somewhere down the line, uh, 80% of the professionals in other fields feel that when you talk about cybersecurity, uh, they all go into something called penetration testing. Now, penetration testing is not the only field; it is just one of the field of, information and cybersecurity. Now, penetration testing can be of many types. You can have human penetration testing, you can have physical penetration testing, you can have network penetration testing, application penetration testing, database penetration testing. There are numerous penetration testing which you like to, get into. Now, penetration testing is a more hands-on skill wherein you need to have proper understanding of protocols, TCP/IP, network architecture. You need to have a complete understanding of DNS services which run on different protocols. What are the service vulnerabilities, how to exploit those service vulnerabilities, library vulnerabilities, how you can exploit that. And instead of doing that, you might also like to try social engineering. Social engineering is one of the most easiest way of penetrating any organization's network. Just get the credentials and you're there, right? Some of the key certifications in this particular field are, CompTIA, Security Plus, CEH, and our own Cybersecurity 101, which starts 6th of July. Then next level would be, that is the base forming certification, base forming knowledge, right? Then if you want to get into pen testing, we do recommend getting CEH Master, which is again hands-on, or getting Pen Test Plus from, you know, CompTIA, and then maybe, targeting one of the, holy grails of penetration testing, that is OSCP and OSW, which is, GIAC, which is from the, the which is considered as one of the most uh, highest level of penetration testing certifications. Now, we do recommend that all professionals get CISSP. Now, CISSP is one certification which prepares you at mid-level and at senior level. So once you start growing in organizational ranking, we consider CISSP as MBA of information and cybersecurity. It, accumulates all knowledge and all experiences into set of 8 domains, and we do recommend CISSP for all information and cybersecurity professionals. Even IT project management professionals, if you want to get into, security by design and understanding security, we do recommend CISSP. Then today, one of the key roles which is there in the information and cybersecurity industry is the identity and access management role. Now, identity and access management becomes another key domain for information and cybersecurity professionals, is because for any organization, starting from your own laptop, from your own machines, you need uh, identity. Identity is, are you, when you try to access something, and then you provide your authentication, that is your password, your multi-factor authentication. Now, organizations where even there are, I'm a small company, we have 20 people, managing 20 identities itself is a huge task. There is a cost involved. I need to have some kind of a directory mechanism by which I can, give access rights to my employees, to the colleagues in our office. Now that itself, even if it is 20 employees, it's difficult. Imagine companies who have thousands of employees, and that's why you need to have some kind of a directory service which maintains these identities. And compared to these identities, you will have access privileges, who has to have what access levels. So now that itself again is a challenge in today's organizations, and a lot of companies have come out with a lot of solutions. There is CyberArk, there is Snowflake, there is Okta, there is Active Directory. Now this is again a hands-on role, because you need to, every organization will have a different kind of an identity and access management solutions. So you need to build up your skills depending upon what kind of you know uh, tool set is there in all organizations. I'll say 80% of the organization will have Active Directory if they are in a Windows environment, and organizations which are into cloud and they would love to remain on the cloud, and those organizations do prefer Okta and CyberArk, and Snowflake. uh, On-prem solutions are there today. Active Directory can be on-prem, it can be on-premise, or it can be on cloud. Microsoft has come up with a very beautiful solutions called Entra ID. You can learn Entra ID also. So what I'm trying to say is, this particular role is more tool and uh, architecture specific. So if you have Microsoft architecture, if you have cloud specific architecture, this role will vary. But yes, there are certain basic certifications which you again will require. The base forming certifications are CompTIA, CEA, Cyber 101. Okay, then you will have you know vendor specific or organization specific. Generally, most of the organizations, you will find either Active Directory, or you will find cloud, some kind of a cloud directory service, or CyberArk, or Snowflake, or some other tool set. Now, most of the organizations will have a orientation program, and if you have multiple skills, that also helps, right? Then one of the most in demand cybersecurity roles is in the security operations. Now this is where you are actually sitting in the security operations center, and you are continuously monitoring your network, your endpoints, your logs. You're consistently monitoring for threats and vulnerabilities which are there in your organization, and you are ready, prepared for responding to different threats which are materializing into your organizational architecture. Now this is a very wide scope, right? And it is not a one man's job. There are multiple roles involved in it. So you might have to do vulnerability research, threat research. You have to be on the top of the game as to see which are the threats which are right now developing into your sector, if you're in the finance sector, or you are into government sector, or you are into the pharma sector. So different kind of threats keep developing over a period of time, and you have to keep your eye on those kind of threats, and how, whether those threats can materialize into your environment. And that's why there are many key skills involved here, and you need to know certain skills. If you want to understand malware, then you're going into malware research. That's a very, very key field. But you need to have a lot of programming and reverse engineering skills. You can get into email security. You can get into attack frameworks and understand what is the threat framework going to be like. What are the point of data points from where the threat will actually materialize into your enterprise. So you can understand MITRE framework, kill chains, and you can predict what is going to be next. So this is where a lot of root cause analysis happens, and this is a very hands-on role, highly technical role. You need to understand a lot of equipment and a lot of tools. This is where your SIEM, EDR, endpoint detection and response, security orchestration and response, extended detection and response, digital investigation technique, and this is where it all boils down. So this is a very highly technical domain, very rewarding but very stressful. If organizations have SOC, it's a stressful place, because if you are in a very very compliant kind of a sector, in a very very ransomware targeted sector, this is where you will definitely be having very sleepless nights, right? But then again, it's very rewarding. Okay, what are the certifications which help? Yes, CompTIA, CEH, Cyber 101 are the base forming. Then what happens is, you get into EDR technologies, XDR, understand this. And this is tool specific, as I told you. Scripting will help. If you know scripting in Python, Bash, shell scripting, this will help because it's a completely hands-on role. Uh, as always, I say CISSP is a must the moment you have 5 to 10 years of experience in this particular domain, right? And then comes privacy. Privacy is a now a building up you know mm, a domain in information and cybersecurity. Why? Because with digital technologies getting imbibed everywhere, your identities are becoming digital, your mode of transport is becoming digital, your way of life is becoming digital, and that's where your lot of privacy data, your health data, your address, your financial data is in the digital form at a lot of places. And if that goes into wrong hand, it could be very very you know I will say damaging. Now, if that's the case, organizations have to wake up and take a lot of care to protect the privacy of individuals with whom they are doing business. Now, if I am a customer and I'm giving you my data, I want you to be responsible and safeguard that data properly, right? And that's why laws and regulations are coming. Europe introduced GDPR, India introduced DDP. So what I'm trying to say is privacy is a building up space, and GRC professionals can definitely look into privacy engineering, privacy data management as one of the career options for themselves. Now forms part of the overall compliance and GRC framework, but privacy also has to be engineered. The data protection, how to store the data, where to store the data, how to protect it, what are the attack vectors, and there are multiple fields in this. Few key certifications which will help you, again, other than the base forming certifications, what will help you is CISM, and privacy specific certifications like CIPP and data protection officer. And CISSP, as I always say, it's the mecca or all information and cybersecurity professionals. You can also become a security architect. For this, you need to have proper network architecture understanding, endpoint security architecture understanding, firewalls. You need to have the complete stack of understanding if you want to become a security architect. You need to be a network specialist. You have to get a CISSP. You need to have a CISSP concentration, which is the ISSAP. You need to understand cloud architectures and cloud security. And this is a slightly senior role. You will not be able to become a security architect straight away. This will be something after you have 5 to 8 years of experience and you've worked in different domains of information and cybersecurity, that you can become a security architect. Okay. Then next is auditor. There's a lot of scope in audit today because there's a lot of compliance in organizations. You'll have to do internal audits, you have to do external audits, you also might have to do third party audits, you also might have to do merger audits or demerger audits, or so there are multiple risks and multiple compliance requirements, multiple business objectives, and with that, auditor roles will never be going void. So auditor roles in demand will remain in demand, but slightly tedious task wherein you have to understand the complete business dynamics, understand what are the checkpoints, what are the data points. You need to have complete understanding both from the technical perspective, the compliance perspective, and process perspective, right? Few good certifications to have is, other than the basic certifications, you should get a CISA, Certified Information Systems Auditor, COBIT, and ITIL, which are process oriented and have you give you a good understanding of IT environments. You can also get standard specific certifications like ISO 27001. If you are in the NIST, if you're dealing with the US clients or the US government, federal agencies, good to have NIST, understanding GDPR. And as always, I always vouch for CISSP for everyone. Right. So now let's look at what each certification does for you, who it is for, and uh, how can it help you. Now, CompTIA Security Plus is a very wonderful certification. We do recommend it for anyone who's trying to start their careers today in information and cybersecurity. It's a base forming certification. You can do CompTIA Security Plus, CEH, or Cyber 101. These are the base forming certifications. You should do it in 1 to 2 years of your experience set. This is good for administrator roles, consulting roles, analyst level roles, junior IT roles up to 2 to 3 years of experience. The next comes is CISA, Certified Information Systems Auditor. Now, CISA is focused specific for GRC professionals who want to get into the field of audit. Okay. Now, you might necessarily not do CISA only for audit. At times, you are an IT professional who has to do internal audits of an organization, so you need to understand the audit process. And if you take CISA certification, even if you are an IT professional, you can assist your organization in internal audits. Okay. So that is where it helps both internal and external auditor. So CISA, if you want to have either a, a profession career building in audit, or you want to you know assist your organization in internal audits, so then you should get a CISA. CISM, again, it is a information security management. It is not a very technical program. It's more of a management program, how to manage the information and cybersecurity of organizations. Now, this is recommended for managers who are at mid-level, 5 years to 10 years, even 15 years experience. Okay, this is suitable for all IT and information security professionals, especially if you are in GRC, if you are looking at associate director, director level roles. Okay, when you have moved out from hands-on and you're more into management kind of roles, CISM is a recommended certification. Even if you are an IT professional and you are in project management, product management, CISM is one good certification to handle, because that gives you an overall experience set of managing both IT infrastructure and the security infrastructure, right? Then next is, if you are specific to GRC and you are a risk management professionals, it is good to have the C-Risk certification. Again, C-Risk is given by ISACA. Okay, and if you are a consultant or a risk management professional, we do recommend you C-Risk. Now, the combination of CISA, that is CISA, and C-Risk certification does help you in a good GRC professional profile. Then we have CIPP. Now, CIPP is a new kid on the block. It has been there for GRC professionals who want to get into privacy. So CIPP has many editions: CIPP US, CIPP Europe, right? And as of now, we do recommend CIPP Europe because that's concentrated on GDPR, and it can tell you about privacy aspects as far as GDPR is concerned. Now, with DDP coming in, okay, what will happen is there will be a requirement of having data protection officers in all organizations. So you'll have to nominate a data protection officer. So we will see, privacy roles also getting enacted more equally as per GRC roles. Even GRC professionals, we will see, privacy coming into the fold of GRC professionals. Okay, so lot of legal professionals will get privacy certifications. We already have seen a lot of chartered accountants, a lot of lawyers pursuing CISA and CISM. We do have chartered accountants who are trying to pursue CISSP. So a lot of lawyers are trying to get into the privacy and the compliance segment as far as information and cybersecurity is concerned. Right. And then when I always say CISSP, the mecca for all information and cybersecurity professionals, it doesn't matter whether you are in hands-on cybersecurity or in management or in information security risk management roles. No matter where you are, I know professionals who are 60 years old, 65 years old, trying to get CISSP. Why? Firstly, is because CISSP is one good certification. It gives you a very holistic view of security. It's recommended for each and every one of you, whether you are in IT or information security, right? So this is all I had for today. I wanted to pack up everything within 40 minutes because that's the retention span of any audience. And I'm the co-founder of Protect Academy. I'm Colonel Shubhajit now, retired from the Indian Army, and pursuing my entrepreneurship dream. And got an academy, got a services category business where we do give BCSO and consulting business to a lot of organizations. And we do have product building wherein we are building our own security products. Okay, we provide training for almost all certifications which we have mentioned other than CIPP. Okay, pricing, we are one of the least priced in the entire compared to Simply Learn or Infosec Train or Knowledge Academy. We are much cheaper than them, right? We have top of the line instructors and our yeah, please go ahead. The house is open for question. I see one question from uh, YouTube. uh, you know should I aim for a role that aligns close to my current skill set, or can I follow my heart and acquire skills for any role? It all depends on where you are at this point in time. Means uh, if you are young and you have age by your side, then you can do anything, right? Well, there's no age for anything. You can do anything anytime. So you can acquire skills at any time. I don't see why in today's world, why you cannot acquire skills are there. Certifications allow you to get a lot of skills, so I don't see why you cannot. There's no saying that you cannot. You should. Okay. You should always follow your heart, but then with heart comes responsibilities. How many responsibilities are there? Okay, Suhana says, "Can AI take this domain GRC audit easily?" Had it been so easy, Suhanas, then they would have already taken these roles. It's easier said than done. You have to understand AI. In perspective, can AI can automate a lot of processes. I don't say that it will not be able to, but the human intellect and human objectivity cannot come in AI. We have tried it. We've tried a lot of things with AI, and it can automate a lot of mundane processes like you know issue tickets are open, sending an email, repetitive jobs. Whenever there are repetitive jobs, AI can take on. But if the job is not repetitive and it requires human objectivity, tell me, can AI take this webinar in a manner which I'm interacting with you? Do you think so? Right? It may not. Right? So human objectivity cannot be you know replaced. That's what I feel. So GRC audit, you might say that it will replace. It's not so easy, right? I've been in GRC for long period of time. Human intervention is required, of course. Without human intervention, at this point, we are not machines. You talk about AI in this domain. I talk about 90% of organizations who do not even have a network firewall today. Okay, so I don't want to name, but I know organizations who do not even have a network firewall. So we can always uh, talk about AI, but it has to be first the basics. Do you have the basics, and then you get AI, right? Let's get the basics first. Right? Any more questions? Right. So, thank you so much. Thank you for giving me your time. And if there are no more questions, then let's close the session. And thanks for watching. Thanks for being there, and thanks for projecting your questions. Take care, and if you would like to do any course with us, you're welcome. Otherwise, also please follow us. We have a lot of information which we keep, giving. Information security uh, is a growing field, and a lot of community support is required to take this profession forward. Thank you so much, and see you next time. Take care.